do our day in meditation. I want to give you a couple of books that I use, because obviously my primary function is a healer. Now, I use all the different tools to help heal, but also I wouldn't do anything or use anything if I hadn't used it myself. And the way I developed was actually looking at healing myself, which was my primary concern, and then ended up being bigger than that. So this is Deb Shapiro, if you can see it. Your body speaks your mind. So it talks about mind-body connection. And I mean, it's strapline here, understanding how your emotions and thoughts affect you physically. Obviously, not in lieu of medical advice. I don't believe in that whole, oh, okay, you can heal everything, which is more a Louise Hay kind of field. I don't believe that you can. Sometimes you can't heal it. But there is, I don't think that people think about the connection enough. So if someone, I work in an office usually, so if someone comes up to me and says, oh, I've got this headache and it won't go away, I'll just ask them, what's on your mind? What's stressing you out? And often they'll reel it off without actually thinking about that connection. It's because they hadn't thought of it. So if someone says, oh, I can't seem to sleep, I don't know why it suddenly happened, and they've also told me about some other stressful situations, I said, well, yeah, how are you feeling about this, X, Y, and Z? And sometimes they don't put that, we don't put that together. And I think this is really, this book kind of is one of those books that that's where it's looking. It's looking at those aren't coincidences. If you're getting a cold consistently, and it's not nothing medically is wrong with you, but you keep, your immune system is up to scratch. It's all of these things, and yet you get that, but you're going also through quite an emotional time. Then you can often see those as linked, and you can delve into them to try and understand, are you storing those in your body? And I think this is a great example. I use it, as I said, myself when I'm going through, and it does talk about the dialogue that you can have with your body. And I think it's very important to look up, obviously not in lieu of a medical diagnosis, but this on a day-to-day level is actually very helpful, because you can actually go, ask yourself, it goes through all different things. You go through and you ask yourself questions, and your response to that kind of will help you take that direction. As I said, it's not in lieu, but it is something that I use quite frequently, because I know I'm very close to my body, so I go, okay, what's going on here? What's going on? And that's quite important, to have that connection with yourself and understand how your thoughts affect you, how your emotions can affect you, and just that understanding helps you click out of negative patterns. You can't do anything about something unless you know what it is. So that's my first recommendation. And anyone working with energy, it is this one. You will hear me bang on about subtle bodies. And this one goes very in depth. It has the meridians in, which I use for energy healing. It has reflexology as well. You can't really see it. It's a very in-depth. It's a very in-depth book. This goes through lots of different, kind of like different energy systems as well, and it's very useful. I use this not only when I was learning, but I still use it a lot, and it's very good for really teaching, but it's also a good reference point. I don't do a lot of energy healing for other people now. It's not service I usually offer, mainly because I do feel that you have a responsibility to kind of work through that. And the reason why is because a lot of the time the energy healing can create dependencies, is because you go to an energy healer, you feel better, and then you repeat the pattern of behaviour, and then the problem resurfaces. So it is very much, I mean, there's exceptions, especially when you're talking about people who are terminal, because energy healing can help with those, the side effects of medications especially, but also things like, people with, say, chronic illnesses, they can, it can help alleviate some of the symptoms. But it is really those two combinations of books, if you're an energy healer, are really great to have. Now, the Deb Shapiro one I would recommend for everybody because it's, to me, an everyday book that you should have around the house because it is really useful. Or an alternative. I like to stay away from the too happy clappy ones. This one has it's got the kind of everyday practical ways of looking at how you can actually ask your body that question. There's other ones like Theta Healing is kind of similar in some ways, family constellations. There's lots of different ways, but I think this one, whereas the other ones you need to have to know a lot more, the Shapiro one is very much like anyone can use it, so it is a recommendation. Anyway, thank you.